Hi, beautiful hedgehogs. Do you struggle with Google Analytics and using their inbuilt reports? Same. So I'm going to introduce you today to Looker Studio and with a bonus, ready to use template. So all you have to do is copy and link to the correct analytics data source that you have. So you can turn the not so helpful native reports in Google Analytics into easy to understand set up dashboards to make your data just so clear. So I will drop this link in the description of this video, but we have a beautiful hedgehog template for our Google Analytics dashboard. So I already have this open in a new tab. So you can see here, it is set up for both e-com and lead generation businesses. So if only one applies, I will show you how to remove the pages that you do not need. So to make a copy, we're going to jump up here into the triple dots and we're going to hit make a copy. Then you can see here, it's going to pull through unknown data sources. So Google doesn't like to share its own data sources, which is absolutely fine. So what you're going to do is, if this is the first time that you've used Looker Studio, there's a couple of extra steps that you need to go through, but you need to hit create data source. And then we're connecting this to Google Analytics. And then you can see I do have access to a whole heap of Google Analytics accounts. So I'm just going to pick this one, fairly benign. They are a lead gen business, for lack of a better description. So I'm going to hit connect. I'm going to let Looker Studio think about its feelings. So you can see here that it's going to pop up showing you all the fields that you have to match. So no need to really look at that. Then hit add to the report. So for some reason, Looker Studio has decided that it is not recognizing analytics as one data source. It's split it over two. So you just go and click that data source that you've just created. So it knows to map to these two sources. And then you're going to hit copy report. Then basically what that is going to do is it's going to feel its feelings, it's going to think its thinks, and it is going to make a carbon copy of that dashboard for you. And the best news ever, it's completely editable. So you can add, change, you can get crazy in here, if I'm being honest. So if you are not an e-com business and you want to get rid of these tabs, so you can see the example that I've chosen is not an e-com business. So you jump up here into pages, then you can see they've popped up over here. Then you just hit delete and it'll do some thinking and it will make it go away. And then e-com products, you do the same thing. And then we're going to jump to this leads page and we're going to just toggle away from that. So this is based on key events. So it's set up just very benignly to like the top tier data. So this is where I would encourage you to map to whatever key event you have. So to do that, you can click on any of these data sorts and then jump over here into the primary field and then start typing key event. So you can see the only key event, it's the stock standard one from Google Analytics is purchase. But if you are using others, a whole list of them will show up here. So for the sake of the example, I'm just going to click on it to show you. Sorry. I'm going to click on it to show you. And then you can see it's changed over here. So obviously that title is terrible. So you can also jump in here and edit it to just be whatever you like. And then the dashboard always has prior period and prior year. So you need to change both. If you're changing the top figure, you need to change the second figure. But you do not necessarily have to change the title of the second figure. So it's the same with all of these charts and everything like that. So if you see something here with an invalid configuration, so that normally means something's gone astray when you've made a copy. So I would just get rid of one of the metrics and see what happens. So then you can see here that has changed over. So yes, it just means that Google has done something silly when it's made that copy for you and pulled over something that doesn't make sense. So obviously leads is very subjective depending on what you do as a business, but what is not subjective and is pretty universal across the board with all properties is traffic metrics. So using this as the example, I will just go into view for a moment so you can see it cleaner. You can see again, everything is mapped to prior period and prior year, then broken down into page, channel, and then physical location. So this is so much more palatable than Google Analytics. So I'm just going to quickly jump into a split screen share. So I've got the Looker Studio on the left and the Analytics native view on the right. So to look at something similar to this dashboard in Google Analytics, you would have to jump into reports, acquisition, and then traffic acquisition. And then you can see here, look, it's similar, but it pigeonholes you into looking at channel data only. It doesn't pull it into an easy to see top level summary. To get that summary, sorry, let's just move myself for a hot second. It shows the totals up the top, but so sorry, I'm also looking at a different business over here on the right to what I've mapped to the dashboard over to the left. So you can see, yes, all the totals are up the top, but it doesn't make it easy. It's not naturally mapped to compare, and also it is a lot easier to just scroll between pages, channel, and location. So it just makes it a lot simpler to view your data than the stock standard Google Analytics reports. With Looker Studio as well, you also have a lot more flexibility in what you can map together, how many data points you can have. So in Google Analytics, you are restricted to 2 columns, but in Looker Studio, there is no restriction. So you literally could have it mapping a whole bunch of different dimensions, so you can see exactly what you're looking for. So kind of think of Looker Studio as an elevated version of the Explore reports that are natively in Google Analytics, but 10 times easier to use and without the data retention restrictions that you see within Google Analytics natively, just in case you haven't changed those to the 14 months. So hopefully that has helped make Google Analytics a little bit more palatable for you. So Looker Studio, it's one of my happy places. It's one of the most used tools here at Hedgehog. So if this is of interest and you're just like, oh my goodness, absolutely, Teddy, I love this. Please help me make this a thing for my business. Absolutely, get in touch. We love to help businesses demystify their data and make it simpler for them to report themselves. So please reach out, drop any questions you might have in the comment box. Please like, subscribe, all of those fun things. And if you found this useful and know somebody else that would, please don't hesitate to share it with them as well. Perfect. Happy data sleuthing.